Do you want to sound less like this? And more like this? I'll show you how Glenn Frey changes those chords so smoothly and how you can too in one of their greatest hits, Peaceful Easy Feeling. Welcome back to Relax Learn Guitar. I'm Kevin. Oop, that's the capo. This is Maggie May. Getting her your YouTube. Oh, we're extra hungry today. There you go. 2 big treats. All right. We're done. My wife Vicky's behind the camera.
Hello.
Let's get started. The whole purpose of this video is to get you to where you can change your chords more smoothly. I mean, Glenn Frey is a master at this. I love his music. And for this version of the song, we're going to need to put a capo onto our 2nd fret. This is a very beginner version of this song, but it's still going to sound great. Once you kind of have this, it all starts here. So get this under your fingers and get it sounding good. And then we'll talk about some more advanced strum patterns later on in the video. We're going to focus on the intro first, and there's 2 chords. There's a D chord and a D sus4 chord, which is basically that D shape, but you put your pinky back down onto the 1st string 3rd fret. That's a D sus4. Those are the 2 chords we'll need to know for the intro. To get your free lesson and printable chord chart on the first 8 chords you should learn when you're starting out on guitar, check out the link in the description below. In this lesson, we're really going to focus on our strumming hand. And if you watch Glenn Frey and lots of other folks, you're going to notice that when they're playing the guitar, their strumming hand never stops moving. And that's kind of the big tip here. I'm going to show you how to keep that strumming hand strumming, so you can change those chords smoothly. So for this entire version of the song lesson, we're going to call this kind of the beginner version, and we're going to do this strum pattern the whole way through. You're going to get really tired of this. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Biggest question I get with this pattern is, do I got to strum all 6 strings when I strum up? And the answer is no. You're going to be strumming all the strings as you go down. The up strums, you're really going to mainly focus on strings 1, 2, 3, and 4. So for this intro, we're going to be alternating between a D chord with that down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, to the D sus4, where you just put our pinky down. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So we're getting started off on a pretty easy chord change that's easy to do smoothly with this strum pattern. The chords you'll need to learn for the verse are going to be that D chord. We're going to add in a G chord and an A7 chord. And those are the only chords in the progression for this verse. I'll show you the chord progression. I would like to sing this one for you to see how it, or so you can hear it all fits together. But whenever I sing, YouTube claims it, so that won't be happening here. Not an issue, by the way, inside our membership. But for the chord progression for the verse, we're gonna alternate D and G 3 times. Each of these chords is gonna get one of those strum patterns. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So we have D, G, D, G, D, G, A7 for 2 times, 2 strum patterns. Now, one thing you'll notice there, I'm going to call this the no chord. So when we're doing the strum pattern, to continuously keep that strumming hand moving, we're going to change the chord on the last up strum of the pattern. So if I really exaggerate this, it looks like this. So it's totally, and not just perfectly fine, but in the case of this lesson, you want to be doing that last up strum on all open strings. That's why I call it the no chord. It's really just giving us a little bit of time to get those changes in there and keep them smooth like Glenn Frey does it. So practice this over and over and slow it way down and exaggerate it too so you can see what's happening. So I found this pretty helpful when I shared it with the members in our Relax on Guitar membership, and I want to share it with you guys too. And what I see people doing when they're first starting out, or if they're struggling a little bit, is they really concentrate, you might really concentrate on that chord and the strum pattern, and then stop completely, and then change your chord, and then start up again. And when you're doing that, that's what really disrupts the rhythm and the timing in the song. So even if you have to go this slow, or even slower, back and forth from that D to the G, as you practice that, you'll get, just with muscle memory and practice, you'll be able to do this chord change quicker. So the verse chord progression just repeats again, and it's into the chorus. But A7 is twice. Got a peaceful is G 2 times. Easy to D 2 times. Use that last up strum to change the chord. Back to G 2 times. E minor 1 time. A7 1 time, then D, E minor, G, A7, back to the intro. So we threw in one new chord for that chorus, it's the E minor chord. So one thing you can do that can help a lot with this, in addition to kind of this little no chord last up strum trick, is visualize the next chord. So as you're doing the down up strums nice and steady, you know that you're going to lift up all your fingers to go to the next chord change on that up strum. Visualize what that next chord looks like. So if we move from this D to the G, think about what the shape looks like, where your fingers are going to be going back down on the strings on the fretboard, and that just kind of helps visualize it. The nice thing with this song is these are all open chords, so you can really kind of get the chords under your fingers, then really get used to that down up 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then doing that little no chord trick to keep that continuous strum going. Doing all these things together for a little bit of time each day is really going to go a long way to playing chords smoothly and quickly and nicely.
And like Glenn Frey.
And like Glenn Frey. So grab your guitar, make sure you got a capo on the 2nd fret. I'm going to play intro, verse, and chorus. I'm going to play this at the speed of the song, which is quite a little bit faster. But if you take these tips and really concentrate on using that up strum to make the change, visualizing those chord changes, the way Glenn Frey does it, and honestly, Glenn Frey, I'm sure practiced this technique. But start with this. You'll be pretty surprised at how this affects your playing as you kind of really concentrate on when you're playing guitar. Just never stop strumming with that strumming hand. Keep it in time and rhythm the whole time. I won't be singing, but I'll kind of talk about the chord changes and some tips as we go along the way. So for the intro, we have this, starting with that D to D sus4. It's like 4 times through that intro with some cool guitar happening. Amazing song. Then into the verse. D, G, D, G 3 times, D, G, A7 twice, back to D, change on those up strums, visualize those chord changes, just remember D, G 3 times, then A7 twice. Into the chorus, G twice, gonna go to that D twice, back to the G twice, then E minor once, A7 once, that last line is D, E minor, G, A7, into the intro. Be sure and check out this video next where I show you some more advanced strum patterns for this amazing song. You can sound even more like Glenn Frey and the Eagles, but it all starts with this, these down ups and that no chord changing on the up strum trick, so get that down and the next one will be even easier. So until next time, remember that you're never too old to learn.
Take care.